Hi, good afternoon, students. We meet again. So today we are going to continue with our sharing session. Okay, and today I will be discussing English SPM Trial paper 2022 from Perlis. Right. So I will start first with paper one, and later I'll go with paper two. Okay, right. So just to refresh our minds, for your information, paper one consists of uh, 5 parts. Okay, 5 parts that equals to 40 questions, combination of multiple choice, and another 10 is fill in the blanks. You have to transfer information. So this paper one is also known as the hybrid paper because not only you have to blacken the circles in the OMR, in the answer sheets, but you also have to write down your answers for the last 8 questions. Okay, so I'm teacher Adelina, right, and I will be helping you out in how to attempt paper one and paper two. Okay, so if you have any questions, probably later you can just wait until the end how to go about with paper one and paper two especially. Okay, all right, now let's go. Let's start off with part one for this paper one. Now in this question paper, I already put in the answer so that I can actually explain to you how the answer is related to the text given. Because sometimes, students will like to make very harsh decision or judgment whenever you see the first word, so you thought that is the answer, whereas actually you have to actually read the question paper. So now in part one, there are altogether 8 questions, and they start off with three multiple choice answers. And you can see as we go further, as we go on to the next part, you can see that the length of the text is actually longer and a little bit more harder compared to the first part, right? Okay, now for question number one, the question is asking about our general understanding of what the notice is about. Yeah. So if you look at the notice is actually apologizing about the room service uh, that they actually offered. Something that has to do with the do not disturb sign thing. Okay, so if you read the text, we apologize that we were unable to service your room this morning as there was a do not disturb sign hung at your doorknob. So meaning that this particular um, you know what we call them the cleaners cannot clean up the room because there is a sign outside the door on the knob, do not disturb. All right. So what the officer of the hotel was asking them to do is to contact the guest service as the extension 0 if you require your room to be cleaned. Okay, so meaning that this is just to inform the guests of the hotel if they want their room to be serviced, they want their room to be cleaned, they need to make a call to the guest service. You look at answer A, B, and C. Right, the housekeeping department has disturbed the guests. Does it mention anything about disturbing? No, they are actually apologizing for not being able to clean the room. Okay, B, the guest wishes for the room to be cleaned immediately. What was the first paragraph mentioned? It mentioned do not disturb sign was hung at your doorknob, meaning that the guests were not expecting their room to be cleaned. And C, the room can be cleaned if the guest contacts the housekeeping department. Right? So straight away you can see that the answer is C. Part one is quite easy because it is a very straightforward question. Okay, let's go to the second question. So the second question, again, you are supposed to read the manual and you have to look at the choices of answers next to it. So this manual is about table fan safety precaution, right? It mentions here what are the things that you should do and should not be doing. Okay, do not place the unit in a temperature higher than 50 degrees Celsius. Switch off the unit when not in use. Do not use the unit for a prolonged time of more than 10 hours. Prolonged means longer time. Keep the unit far away from children. In the event that the unit has malfunctioned, contact the service center immediately. Do not attempt to fix the unit yourself or without the presence of an experienced technician. So if anything happens, do not do your own repairing. Okay? Alright. Look at A, B, and C. Now, why is the answer A? The fan is safe to use indoors. Does it mention anything about outdoors? No. Okay, let's read first. B, we must always read the precaution every time we operate the fan. Does it mention that we need to read? No, it doesn't mention. This is just a precaution. Sometimes we just read it once, not all the time. Now to operate the fan. It's not that difficult to operate the fan. Okay, C, the fan is equipped with child safety features. Does it mention about child safety features? No. Look at number 4. Keep the unit far away from children. Alright, so it is very clear cut that the answer is A. Alright, but you have to understand what is the meaning of indoor. Indoor means inside. Okay, next. For number 3, the question is asking students to find the following true statement. True statement. So if you have highlighter, just highlight it. In examination, I don't think you're supposed to bring any highlighter in. Therefore, you just highlight it with your, you can just underline it with a pencil or a pen. Okay, that's it. Now, love scams, watch out for these warning signs. So this is actually a sign to inform us what we should be avoiding. Okay, we should avoid doing what. If they contact you out of nowhere, usually using social media platforms, the relationships moving very fast, they quickly confess their love for you. They try to tell you not to listen to your friends and family. They ask for money. They say they need the money for urgent situations. So this is actually a scamming activity that is very, very famous nowadays. Alright, so out of these statements which are true, look at A, B, and C, and the answer is actually an A. Alright, why is it A? The scammers look for their victims online. Is it true or not? It's already mentioned in the first line, in the first paragraph, in number 1. They contact you out of nowhere, usually using social media platforms. So social media is online. B, the victims try to be helpful as much as possible. Are you being helpful? No, you're not being helpful. You're just being scammed. You're being tricked. Right? And you see the public must be cautious of their loved ones. Is it about their loved ones or scammers? It's about scammers. Okay, so therefore the answer is A. Alright. Now for number 4, this is a text about a popular English radio station. Okay, and what does it what is the services that they are giving, and this is actually a general idea of the particular music that they played on air for this particular station, right? So the notice tells us that what we have A, B, and C. So always make sure that you always read. Some students they don't read. They will just read the answer and then they go back to reading back the text. If I were you, my advice is that always read this one first, then you answer the question. Okay. So the answer is C. Adelina sayang is performed by a male singer and a female singer. Okay, why is it C? Now, the first line is talking about a popular English radio station, and this particular station will take you on a journey to the historical city of Malacca to discover the art of Dondang Sayang. So specifically, they are talking about Dondang Sayang music, featuring a beautiful song performance in the form of Malaysian pantun or poems. So it is usually presented in a duet by members of the opposite sex. Opposite sex means male and female. In diverse Malay proverbs and idiomatic terms. So in Malacca, the Dondang Sayang is shared among the Malays, the Baba Nyonya, the Chiti, and the Portuguese community. So is it number 1? You must sing Dondang Sayang every time you are in Malacca? You're not supposed to sing every time you go there. B, Dona Sayang is a song for all people in Malaysia. Is it? Not everyone. Can you see this? It mentions the community, who are the people who actually listen. Not all people in Malaysia. Alright, but the most accurate answer would be C. Alright. Okay, number 5. Number 5 again. So if you were to see from number 1 right up to number 5 at the moment, everything is asking about general ideas, general information. If you remember the state that I did previously, there was one state where right up from number 1 right up to number 7 and number 8, the question is asking the students to find which is a true statement. So you can see that there are many types of part 1 questions that could be asked to students, and therefore you have to familiarize yourself with the with the questions, not to be cooked up with only one type of sentence structure. Okay, so this advertisement tells us about what? You can see in the first line here, it's already mentioned, we're talking about e-wallet. Okay, e-wallet, a preferred choice for a busy lifestyle. So out of this, the answer is B, because e-wallet makes daily purchases easier. Is it true or not? Yes, it does. See? Top up your prepaid lines easily straight from your wallet. You don't have to queue. Shop easily from popular shopping platforms. E-wallet, you can shop online. Use Deliver It and pay with your e-wallet to get free food delivery. So you can get free gifts, free food, Reloading the e-wallet has never been easier. Use your online banking. You don't have to go to the bank, you just do online banking. Therefore, the most suitable answer is B. Okay? Alright, number 6. Now, this is the only question that asks students to find which of the following is true. Right. This one is about exercise, specifically on warming up. So warming up prepares our cardiovascular system for physical activities, increasing blood flow to our muscles and raising the temperature. When the muscles are adequately warmed up, the movement and pressures of them during exercise are less serious, thus minimizing muscle pain. So which one is true? If I were to answer A, it's wrong, because warming up should be done after exercises. That is definitely not true. Yeah. B, warming up helps to reduce muscle discomfort. Does it mention anything about discomfort? Yes. Look here. When our muscles are adequately warmed up, the movement and pressures permitted to the exercise are less serious, minimizing muscle pain. So discomfort means less pain. C, our body will be healthy without warming up. Not to say that we will be healthy, we will probably get some muscle cramps if we don't warm up. Not healthy. So therefore, the one that is true is B. Okay. Alright. Number 7. This is a probably a weather forecast about thunderstorm warning. And this is again asking students in general, what is the forecast about? Right. So the answer is C. Why? Because here it mentioned the Malaysian Meteorological Department does regular weather updates online. It's true. Let's see. Thunderstorm, heavy rains, strong winds are expected over 7 states in the peninsula from 6 p.m. to the 1st July 2022 and 11 a.m. 1st August 2022. See, now for the latest information on the local weather, follow the Malaysian Meteorological Department on. See, when you see that latest information, you are talking about regular weather updates all the time. And it's always be updated. Now, if you were to answer A, it is wrong, because not all states are expecting thunderstorms. Only 7 states in the second line. If you were to answer B, it is not as well, because the beach is prohibited for leisure. Those living near coastal areas are advised not to go out to sea for recreational activities. You are not prohibited. You are only advised. Prohibited means you cannot do at all. But if you were to advise, you can still do, but the consequences, it's all on our own responsibility, right? And the last one for part 1. Okay, this is a newspaper excerpt about Kebaya Perlis. Alright, Kebaya Perlis. Corporate Malay royalty in the state is making a comeback according to British Tourism Committee Chairman. This part of Malay heritage that must be preserved. Doesn't show the body shape and therefore suitable for formal occasions. It's talking about a type of costume. Now, the news extract tells us that, again, this question is asking a general idea of the text. So the answer is A. Kebaya Perlis can be worn for official functions. So why is this the answer? It is already mentioned here, suitable for formal occasions. Okay, formal occasions. Formal occasion is same meaning as official functions. Okay, what is it not be? Tourists will have a chance to make Kebaya Perlis themselves. Does it mention anything? They can make it themselves? No, it does not. Alright, we only mentioned organize a sewing workshop for the public. Okay, just a sewing workshop, not making the kebaya. And C, Kemas is responsible to sell kebaya Perlis to people. Is it? They are not selling, they are actually promoting projects. So therefore, the answer is alright. It's quite easy, isn't it? Very direct to the point. Okay, now let's go to part 2. Okay, part 2 is the part where we call, it is also known as closed passage, closed text, whereby there are 10 questions being given to students, and this time of around in part 2, the number of multiple choice answer is increased to 4. Just now was 3, and now it's 4. And for this part 2, students are actually tested on their vocabulary and grammar. Okay, so let's look at the question. So for this particular text, students are given a sample of an answer first. That's why it's taken there as 0. And it is actually a complete text that consists of probably 5 to 6 paragraphs, very short paragraphs. And for example, at number 9, number 10, you can see that students have to actually fill in the blanks with a suitable answer. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 empty spaces there. Right, like what I mentioned earlier, this particular part 2 is testing students on their vocabulary and grammar. Is it true or not? So let's go to the choices of answer. Okay, see? I'm not lying. Alright. Now you look at 0. 0, this first part of the sentence, or first part of the answer, is already given as B. Okay, B were the ancient. Because why? Previously it comes in a plural form. Okay, a plural noun. Okay, and it is talking about in the past. So therefore it becomes were. So the first part of the answer here, choices of answer, is testing the students on their grammar, present and past. Number 9, it is testing students on their grammar as well. So you can see that there are choices of words in the form of present tense, and then you have past tense, you have future tense. So for number 9, the answer is wrapped. Okay, why is it wrapped? Later, a length of leather was wrapped. It's already past tense here. Wrapped around your hands and forearms to protect them. What is it? The boxes. Okay, the boxes. Okay, next. Number 10. Number 10 is that is actually testing students on their vocabulary, because you are given choices of words which are quite similar in meanings to each other. Participant, partners, friends, and opponents. So the answer is D. Why is it a D? You're talking opponents because you are basically fighting with a different side of the world. Okay? Although the sport was brutal, in ancient Greece, boxers were killed there. What is stiff punishment? Definitely you are not going to box with a friend, partners, or participants, but you are going to box against your opponents. Now, number 11. This is is testing students on their grammar. Linkers, cohesive device, off, in, on, and off. Off here is suitable for phrasal verbs such as switch off, turn off the fan, okay? Or something to show that you are going away, you are switching it, or you're not going to be switching it on. And this is more on a verb. So these are all nouns, for example, okay, to show continuation of sentence. So the answer is A of. Alright, number 11. During the Middle Age from 500 to 1500 AD, boxing fell out of favor. Not in, not on, not off. So the answer is A. Okay, for number 12, this is also testing students on their grammar. You can see that this is a connector, or, and, but, and yet. Okay, then let's see at the question. When the new middle class had the time, right, and money for sports. To show, to join two sentences together. Yeah. Okay, number 13. What, like the ancient Greeks, boxers used their fists and something new, wrestling poles. So the answer will be instead. Instead, this is also testing students on their grammar, cohesive device. Yeah. To show the continuation, cause and effect, for example. Number 14, also testing students on grammar. Okay, and then 15 is also grammar. This is preposition to show the positioning. Alright, number 16 is testing students on their vocabulary. You can see former, current, instant, last. What similar, different in meanings. Okay, number 17, again, testing students on their grammar, cohesive device. Connectors, sentence connectors. And the last one, number 18, is also testing students on their grammar. You can see that this is a past tense, present tense, past tense, present continuous, future continuous, future tense. Okay, so if you were to compare in the previous papers that we have discussed, you can see that some states, okay, some questions will be testing students a lot on grammar. Some questions will be testing students a lot on vocabulary. So there are many kinds of questions that can be asked in part 2. Okay, all right. Let's go to part 3. Okay, students. In part 3, the level of difficulty is increased, whereby here for part 3 is actually comprehension questions. For comprehension questions, students are given 8 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 questions to be answered. Okay, and the number of choices of answer is maintained at 4, but the length of the text is way more longer compared to part 1 and part 2. Okay, alright, let's look. See what I meant by long. It's really long actually. It's quite long. Okay, so this is a text. Okay, a text. I think this is an article. So if you were to ask me, teacher, why is the article long? It suits to the requirement for SEFAR for upper secondary, where they are being tested. You are going to the scale of B1 and B2. Therefore, the difficulty level of word sentences is a little bit higher, right, compared to the first part, right, and the second part. Okay, all right. Now, students, your paragraphing can look like this. Sometimes it looked not like a normal way, but sometimes it looks like this, and you can see that it's quite long. Right? But my advice to you is, just remember on the right hand side is the number of paragraphs. What I meant by number of paragraphs is that this is paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you can see there are 8 paragraphs altogether. 8 paragraphs, and In comprehension, there are a variety of questions. Some of the questions will tell you in paragraph 1 straight away. You can find the answer. Okay, there would be always like 1 or 2 questions that ask students to look for words in lines. So if you were to count lines, then you count on the right hand side, like this 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you continue until the end here, photographer. Then you can get how many lines that you are reading actually. Okay. Alright, let's look at the question. Now in paragraph 2, why did Tom decide to make the most of his life? You can see that sometimes comprehension question, you can just straightly jump from paragraph 1 to paragraph 2. They don't ask any question in paragraph. They don't ask question from paragraph 2. 1, straight away they go to paragraph. That is normal. So don't expect that every time when you do comprehension questions, okay, question will come from paragraph 1 verse 2, 3. No, it's not that. So I said variety, but a lot of variety. Okay, now if this is the question in paragraph 2, why did Tom decide to make the most of his life? Let's look, and the answer is A. Let's look in paragraph 2. Is the answer there? Tom made the decision to travel the world after one of his close friends died at the age of 17. The tragedy encouraged Tom to make the most of his own life, meaning that because of the death of his friend, okay, this has encouraged Tom to do something else, to do something better. So let's look at the answer. See, his friend passed away at a young age. It's quite easy if you follow the instruction. Just follow what is the requirement for the question. You will be on the right track. Okay, then here mentioned paragraph 4. So we look in paragraph 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here. Right? Look at question 21, paragraph 5. 22, paragraph 6. Paragraph 7. See what I meant by it's very clear cut. They will tell you where to get the answer from. So you should not be worried. Just make sure that you read. Always read from top to bottom. For the first time, just read once through. Second time, look at the questions and try to relate the question with the text. Now, question 24. Again, it doesn't stop there. Paragraph 8. Alright. But when it comes to question 25 and 26, from the story, you can see what can we say about Tom. This is an overall view of who Tom is. And you have to make your own assumption based on your own understanding, based on your own reading. Alright? Okay, meaning that this story, if the answer is B, you have to understand the word perseverance. Perseverance means someone who works really hard in order to gain success. Okay, he is not lazy, he is not dumb, but he works hard and he has faced a lot of difficulties in life, yet he gets up and he tries again and again. That is perseverance. Okay, so the answer is B. Right. What is the purpose of this article? Purpose of the article, sometimes, I'm not saying there is. Sometimes the answer would be in the last paragraph. It can be here, or it can be in the first paragraph. Okay, alright. Okay, now let's continue to part 4. Part 4 is a little bit more harder because in part 4, students are not given 4 multiple choice answers like what you did for part 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now they will give you, you have to fill in the blanks with, there are 6 blanks given to students, and there are actually 8 possible answers that you have to choose in order for you to complete the paragraphs. Okay, this one is a little bit more harder compared to part 1, part 2, and part 3. Let's look here. See, they give you the topic, are celebrities that you. Is it correct? There are 6 questions, 6 in the blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And students actually have to find sentences to complete this particular paragraph. Okay. Sentences, not phrases, sentences, not paragraphs, just sentences. Okay? Alright. So therefore, they give you 8 options: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, give me an example. The question starts with number 27, isn't it? How many people are truly obsessed with modern media idols? Let's look at the question. Celebrities are everywhere nowadays, on TV, in magazines, online. Is this admiration for famous people harmless fun, or is it bad for us? Right. On the other side of the coin, can fame be harmful to celebrities? So here you are actually answering the question for the previous question. Okay, now is it the answer? How many people are truly obsessed with modern media idols? Because why? In this particular paragraph, it is talking only about celebrities. Therefore, idols are also one of them. Then again, celebrities. And it is a consistency of question. So most people, then on the other side, can become celebrities. It is an emphasizing. It is emphasizing on the main idea of the text. Okay. All right. 28, the answer is 15% of young people have an entertaining social interest. Why is it 15%? Here, you're talking about majority of teenagers. Right? The key word here is teenagers. Therefore, you have not yet stopped talking about teenagers. And the only answer here that you can find teenagers would be young people. The similar word for teenagers. Alright? That's the key word. This is what we call a synonym. So students, you have to understand that sometimes they don't use the word teenagers all the time. They might use young people, adolescents, what else? Young adults. Okay, all right. 29. Another 5% feel that they have an intense personal relationship with a celebrity. Who? These people are more at risk from depression and anxiety. So who are these people? Answer 29. Sometimes they see them as a soulmate and find that they are often thinking about them even when they don't want to. Soulmate. Often thinking. Is it related? Yeah. Intense personal relationship. So you feel that they are your soulmate. Normal for teenagers nowadays. Okay, so that's how you do for part 4. Alright. And there would be 2 answers which are not going to be used because there's nothing to do with the text. D and G. Sorry, D and okay. Alright, and the last part is part 5. Now in part 5, this is where it is also known as the information transfer. For me, it's quite easy because actually you have to read and you have to transfer the information. Right? The first 4 questions will ask students to just put the number of effort, just name the efforts. Paragraph. They have to identify the paragraph from a description given. Another 4 questions, students have to write the answer. Okay, let's see. This is what I meant. Students have to write the paragraph. Now, A here refers to this paragraph. So A is paragraph about Nina. B is paragraph about Peter. C is paragraph about Jasmine. D is paragraph about Aisha, E, Henry, and F, Nick. Let's see. Alright. So when you answer for this question, please make sure that you read whatever that is under Nina. This is the description about her because we are talking about advantages of hobbies. So everyone here has their own hobbies and they are also discussing about the advantages of them having those particular hobbies. And when it comes to answering the question, just make sure that look at the statement given. The statement can be seen from the description here of the paragraphs. A, B, C, D, E, F. So if you were to see my answer, therefore, I put that paragraph C, B, A, and E. Now, C is who? I'm able to build a relationship with people who share the same interests. Who is C? C is Jasmine. Okay, what did she do? To exercise regularly and has been a wonderful hobby for me, although some may argue it is more of a necessity rather than a hobby. Much like brushing your teeth, however, I really enjoy all sorts of exercise, going to the gym, lifting weights, running and walking. The longer I do it, the more I enjoy it. I have also met a lot of wonderful people who share this passion. See, met a lot of people. So therefore, builds relationship, share interests. Okay. Same goes with number 54, 5 and 6. Always read the statement and find the suitable paragraph from the text. Okay, now let's go to the last 4 questions. Now, the last 4 questions, students, please bear in mind that for this particular 4 last question, this is what we call as hybrid, because students have to actually write the answer. Same goes with this. You have to write the answer using a pencil. Okay. Now, you're supposed to only write no more than one word. Just one word answer. Where do I get these particular answers? Where do I get this? The answers that I got here is from all here. Okay, for example, an avid reader usually gains a new life wide as they read various genres of book. Now, if I were to look back at here, who is the person who likes to read books? See, Mina. Mina, what did she say? I love reading, especially non-fiction ones. For example, I'm currently reading a book called The Unconquered, which focuses on a tribe of native Indians that lives in isolation in the Amazon forest. So every book I read teaches me something about the world and gives me a new perspective. Is it true? Perspective? Yes. See? Life perspective. So for the last 8 questions, just make sure you read and you refer back to the text you read in the previous page. Okay? Alright. So and just remember that this is a one word answer. If you were to write 2 words for one blank, automatically the answer is wrong, even though one of the answers is correct. Okay, alright. So I think that's all for paper 1 for today. So I hope that sharing that I did with you opens up more things that actually some of you have left out or do not remember. So I hope to see you soon in our next set for paper 2 from Perlis. Okay, so take care. See you soon. Bye.